welcome to Focus. Today it's Friday, and we like Fridays because Tim Elbert's in the house, so we talk about gardening and all the good things. Who is Tim Elbert? Well, look, there he is, folks. He has come in a new form. Tim's the one with the green ears.
Yeah, here I am.
Anyway, here to take your questions today, and Tim heads out the Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway. You go out Highway 62, hop over to the frontage road there on Violets Road, go up a little bit, and you'll see the beautiful nursery off to the right with all the beautiful hanging baskets and all the flowers and all the gorgeous things going on out there. And when you call in today, your name's going in the hat for a...
We're going to give away a $10 gift card, so you can use it to buy anything you'd like at the store.
Well, there you go. Maybe there's a special flower plant, fertilizer, maybe buy...
yeah, some of the new metal art, if that's what you want to call it, art.
Art. Okay, it's really cute. Anyway, let us know. All right, 776-5368 is the number to get Tim. Ask him a question here, 776-5368. Hey, and for our listening friends up and down the Southern Oregon coastline, over in Brookings, KDOB, excuse me, 91.5, and then up in the Port Orford area, KDPO, and then all the way up into the Coos Bay, Charleston, North Bend areas, and that would be KDCB. All right, listening in, you're welcome to join us. It's toll-free, 1-800-373-5368, and you can be a part of the program. All right, Tim, you brought in today some metal art. Now, this is yard art.
Yes, yes.
And you brought in the donkey.
Yeah, I figured I'd bring a friendly Democrat.
I'm going to ask you where the elephant was, but you have other items that you can get, huh?
Yeah, you know, there's quite an assortment that we just got in, and so the donkey is just one of them. But and they come in all different sizes. We have donkeys and dogs and goats, a whole family of goats, and clear up to a 6-foot tall pink flamingo. Really? And a 5-foot tall rooster.
Really?
Yeah, so they're a lot of fun. They're just interesting and great attention getters for sure.
No question about it. Really cute. Okay. 776-5368 is the number, 776-5368. I'm trying to get my iPad working, guys. It's not working in here, so I don't know. You may have to put them up on the screen for me. Anyway, hey, the hot weather's coming.
Yes.
Triple digits.
Yes.
And but before we get into all of the obvious watering more, there was a is it the what tree were we talking about? Not
the madrones.
Madrone. I was thinking manzanita. Madrone.
Yes.
Those of us who have madrone in our yards,
right?
They're dropping yellow leaves like crazy. What's the deal?
Well, part of that could be just some natural leaf drop that happens this time of year with those. So I wouldn't be terribly concerned. However, if they are losing a lot of foliage, more than normal, I know that there's a fungus that the Forest Service has been worried about for a few years now, and I know it's affecting more and more areas around, and that could be a part of the problem. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good answers for that, and we may have to have one of our forestry friends call us up and tell us what's going on with that.
Because around that tree, it looks almost like it's fall. They turn yellow, they fall, and then they turn brown.
They get spotted on the foliage too.
A little bit.
Yes, that could be that fungus. I don't even recall what it's called, but
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a nursery question, by the way. That's a forestry question.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't want to put you on the spot. The last thing I want to do is embarrass you. All right, let's move into the phone calls. Hi, Carol. What's going on?
I have an arbor in the full sun, and I was wondering what I could plant on there that would be maybe a flowering plant and cover the arbor.
There's lots of great vines that are blooming right now. The honeysuckles are one of my favorites. They're very fragrant, have lots and lots of blooms, bloom through the summertime, and there's several varieties. I think we have probably half a dozen varieties right now in stock. So that's a really good one. Some of those are even evergreen. Of course, if it's a good, sturdy, heavy-duty arbor, you can use wisteria on that, and that'll give you some nice purple blooms.
Okay.
And if you've got a little bit of afternoon shade, the clematis are really nice, and the star jasmine are blooming, and they are extremely fragrant right now.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, the phone number is 776-5368 if you want to join the conversation, and your name's going in the hat for a $10 gift certificate out at the Four Seasons Nursery. And if you're outside the immediate area, I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're listening along the coastline. Join the conversation, and that's toll-free, 1-800-373-5368. All right, let's go to Eunice. Eunice has a pitiful lawn. Right?
I do.
Does your lawn need counseling?
Yeah, worse than that. I have a section in the front of the house that gets the afternoon sun. I mean, it gets cooked. And I don't think I'm watering enough. What do you recommend watering time in this summertime here?
Well, that's a hard one to give an answer to, because there's so many different variables that affect that. And so, typically I tell people water every other day if you can get by with that. But if you can't, you have to water daily, then go for it. But here's the testing that I do. It's a two-step process. First of all, I walk out on the lawn and I press my feet firmly down on the ground, push hard on the ground. If I can get water to come up underneath my feet, then I'm too wet and I can cut back my sprinklers.
Oh.
And if the other thing I'll do is, if I don't get that, is I'll take a long screwdriver and press it down into the ground. If I can bury that screwdriver down to the handle in the ground, then I've got good moisture in the ground there. And then
If you can't?
If you can't, then you've got too many rocks, or more likely you're just not getting enough water. So increase the amount of water you're putting on the lawn at that point. So you can make those adjustments accordingly, and those are just two really easy ways to test. And I would test different parts of the lawn, because one area might get more water than another,
Right.
and then you can adjust your sprinklers to spray more in one spot or another.
But on the system, the watering system,
Yes.
there is, I have it like for 10 minutes to water each section. It goes to section. Is that too much or too little? After I test it, will it let me know whether to raise it or lower it?
Well, after you want to test right before you water, or if you're watering in the morning, which is the best time, check it in the evening so that you're not doing it right after you water, because obviously then it'll be wet. But check it then, and then make a determination at that point whether you need to increase that amount or decrease that amount. And that's, again, the type of sprinkler, the sprinkler spacing, the soil, the slope, so many different variables that would affect that I can't tell you if 10 minutes is enough or not.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
If I can't fix it, it's time for artificial.
Oh, you'll get it. You'll get it. Just go out there and check it.
Thank you so much, Tim. I enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you.
All right, 776-5368 is the number to talk to Tim Elbert, and if you're outside the immediate area, toll free, 1-800-373-5368. Ask any question you may have as they're going into, looks like the summer switch has been flipped. It's going to go from, can you imagine we had rain at the beginning of the week?
I know, I was in a sweatshirt the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are now close to triple digits. In some areas we'll see triple digits through the weekend. So here we are, hot times, and if you have any question about what you should be doing in the yard, again, the number is 776-5368. A lot of color available?
Yes, lots of stuff that's just starting to come into bloom, as well as a lot of stuff that's been continually blooming. Some of the things that are coming on right now, the Rudbeckias, the black-eyed Susans, the perennial one, those are coming on now and looking really good. Excuse me. And just starting to poke their heads out now, the Crocosmia, which is that kind of grassy foliage that comes up with the spikes of reddish flowers.
Right.
Those are getting ready to bloom, and we'll probably be bringing one of those next time. So,
Really?
yeah, I mean, they're a beautiful plant, and there's lots of them out there. They're gorgeous.
All right. Of course, the watering thing is a big issue, and I realize there are all those variables that you just mentioned with Eunice. But chances are we probably will be upping our watering time a little bit with these triple digits.
It's probably going to happen. You're going to get more evaporation, so there's not going to be as much water available to your lawn. And your lawn is going to transpire more, which, in other words, it takes water up from the roots and expels it out through the foliage. So that's called transpiration. And in doing that, you're going to be drawing more water out. So the increased evaporation and transpiration, which means then, yes, you're going to have to water more.
Okay. And again, reminding you that when you call in this morning, your name goes in the hat, and Tim's doing a $10 gift certificate out there at Four Seasons, which is a great way to pick what you want and apply that towards that. 776-5368 is the number, 776-5368, or online, or toll free, there we go. Toll free, 1-800-373-5368. And the new addition to the Four Seasons is garden metal art. And he's got all kinds of cute things out there, like this little figurine that we have here. All right, we'll take a quick break and take your phone calls when we come back. Give us a buzz.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert in the house. This is him right here. No, not really.
I've been called a donkey before.
Have you? Yeah.
Not quite that, but...
Yeah, okay. We'll leave it there. Anyway, he heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, and if you need to give us a buzz and get your name in the hat for a $10 gift certificate out there at Four Seasons, use it for anything in the store. Maybe it's fertilizer, maybe it's a plant, maybe it's whatever. Maybe it's against some of this new yard art. Anyway, 776-5368 is the local number, and then toll free, 1-800-373-5368. By the way, Tim, I just wanted to mention to our viewers and listeners and to you that the new Dove app is up.
That's exciting news.
And our crew has been working on this for about 2.5 months. It's a lot of details, if you can imagine creating an app. And let me just say to our viewers and listeners, you can go to any of the app stores and put in theDove, and that make it one word, theDove, one word, and it'll pop up. It's free. How about that word?
That's nice.
Free.
That's great.
It's iPhone, iPad, and Android.
Nice. So that's so you get on the iTunes and store or the Google Play.
Google Play, and you can download it and put it on your iPhone, iPad, and your Android device.
So this means that people can watch my program over and over again.
Yes. Yes, you can watch Tim over and over and over again. There's all kinds of things that you can watch the Dove TV live. You can listen to the Dove radio live. Nice. You can send us a prayer request. You can contact us. You can get a free devotional. We are also the nationwide host for Call to Worship. You can listen to that program. There's archives of our previous programs of not only the morning news, but also Focus Today, the one you're watching. So if you like what you see and hear with Tim, give it a little while. It'll be up there, and you can watch it again and again and again. And so anyway, we're excited to announce that the Dove app, it's a free app. It's a download for your smartphone and your tablets, both iPhone and iTablets and Android as well. And it's available starting today. And it's very important that if you download it today, it's free. They're going to ask you for a rating. Just say 5. And that helps us to, get some good promotion out of it as well. So we're pretty excited about that. All right. Tim, so much going on in the yard today. And just say to our listeners, call us, 776-5368, if you have any questions for Tim. and our toll-free 1-800-373-5368. Any bug watching we should be doing or spraying?
Well, yes, definitely the insects are out in force right now. So the battle has begun, and also diseases. A lot of things with this changing weather has caused a lot of problems in the vegetable garden as well as in the yard. You probably noticed in the yard, excuse me, the earwigs this year have been just exponentially worse than in past years. And of course that's because our weather this year, our winter this year was very mild, and we didn't get to kill off, winter kill a lot of those off, and so that's been really bad. A couple of great ways for getting rid of the earwigs, the Sluggo Plus, which is a granular bait that you can put out, and they'll feed on that, and it'll kill them. Also, there's a spray, and it's the same one we use on the baskets for the budworms. It's the boar bagworm spray by Fertilome, and the active ingredient in that is called spinosad. It's the same thing that's in the Sluggo Plus, only this is in a liquid form. Now, the key with this is that your best control for earwigs is to go out at night and spray, because they're nocturnal feeders. So they're going out after dark and munching on your plants, and that's why you don't see them. You lift up the foliage during the day and they go scurrying all over the place. That's because they're looking for a cool, dark place for during the day, and then they'll come out at night. Get those sprayed at night, and I say put on your camo gear and your night vision goggles and your sprayer. Yeah, that's the Timinator way to do it.
What are you doing, honey? I'm earwig hunting.
We're earwig hunting tonight. Yes. So that's earwigs have been a big problem, and slugs and snails this year have been pretty bad as well. So. So get those baits out there.
All right. Let's go back to the phone. Our phone number is 776-5368 or toll-free 1-800-373-5368. Hey, Kathy, what's going on with your red bud tree and mushrooms?
Well, actually, Tim, last year I called you last summer, and the tree wasn't growing. And you said you thought that when we had transplanted it from a pot into the ground, that maybe we hadn't roughed up the edges of the roots so that it was root bound. So I took all this effort and dug up around the tree, dug out grass and everything to get it to the roots, and roughed them up and fertilized them, and the tree started to grow. Okay, so this spring it came out, bloomed beautifully, was looking great, great growth, even a nice color to the new leaves. But no matter how much I water it, the leaves want to curl. And it's like, I don't remember it doing that before. And so now I don't know what to do with this poor little tree.
Are they curling down?
They're curling inward.
Okay. And then when you water it more, does it get better, or does it just stay the same?
Well, I soaked it really good last night in the evening. I mean, I let that hose sit there and run on it to soak the whole area around it, because there's a little bitty flower bed under it. After all, since I dug it up, I might as well plant some flowers under it, right? And they're still all curled up this morning, and it's in the cooler of the morning, too. So I'm dying of curiosity as to why these leaves are curling. Not all of them, but most of them are. And
I think you stumped him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I may have to see that. If you can maybe get a couple of pictures and some samples and bring it down to the store. Let me take a look at it, and we'll see what might be going on. But generally, with the leaves curling, that's going to be a sign that there is a disconnect between root system and top growth. So somewhere in there, maybe check that trunk out for damage. See if there's been any damage around the trunk from insects or from something hitting it, or animals climbing the tree, things like that. And then bring me some pictures and stuff. Let's take a look at that.
Well, it's kind of weird, but then in the backyard where I didn't have mushrooms before, now I had mushrooms all over the front lawn, and you told me last year to wait till March and then put down lime. So, wow, there's the mushrooms I had were in the fall, And so I limed it real good, and the front lawn's looking great this year. But it's the backyard where I've kind of ignored the lawn, where I haven't done much anything other than mow it occasionally. And there's mushrooms popping up all over the place. Now, is this an okay time of year to put lime down for it, or?
Yes. Yeah, you can go ahead and put the lime down now. Yeah.
Okay, because that seemed really weird that they'd be coming out at this time of year.
Well, not with the weather we've had.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Alrighty, thanks.
Thanks, Kathy. All right, 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. Hey, Lisa, what's going on with your hydrangea?
Well, last year I had beautiful blue blooms in the spring and the summer, and then in the fall they changed to pink. And the leaves started kind of turning a pinky red also. Mm-hmm. And this year, I have these little teeny tiny blooms, and there's black around them. And they're real small, like an inch, the most. And there's black around them, and I'm wondering what kind of a disease or something I've gotten.
No disease. You need to fertilize with an acid fertilizer.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. With an acid fertilizer. And what? I don't know what kind of fertilizer that would be.
Well, if you want to go organic, there's the Espoma Hollytone. That works really good. Otherwise, just like an azalea rhododendron fertilizer, Fertilo makes a really good one. It's just called rhododendron azalea fertilizer. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, what about putting Epsom salt around the base?
Well, Epsom salt is going to increase the magnesium. It's going to lower the pH, so that's good. But it's not going to give it enough nitrogen. And with that discolored foliage, that's what you need, is some extra nitrogen too. So magnesium sulfate, yeah, it's going to help a little bit, but really need to add more fertilizer as well.
Okay, I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye. Have a super day.
Okay, you too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Gary. Hey, Gary, what's going on, big guy?
Is that Gary?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My wife has been wanting to buy a lemon tree, but we never make it down to buy a lemon tree, and I just said, you got a lemon in there. What does it take to grow a lemon tree from a seed?
Oh, wow, from a seed.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get them to actually produce. So so probably it's not an easy task. It's probably better to buy one that's already up to size and grafted and doing well. Citrus have a tendency to have a real problem with diseases, and so having a grafted one really helps. So I would recommend picking up a lemon tree, and we do have some nice ones in stock with lemons on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do they run?
They're 5 gallon. I think they're $54. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
By the way, Gary, Peggy got a lemon tree from you guys, and it's just doing wonderful.
Yeah,
they got little lemons on it. They're starting to come back.
They're great. Having the lemon trees I hate to say they're easy to grow because you've got to really watch them.
Yeah, you got to bring them in the wintertime.
And if you treat them right, then they are very easy. But they need a lot of good air movement and lots of sunshine.
All right, real quick. Hi, Lori. What's going on?
I planted 30 tomato plants, and one of them has all the leaves eaten off of it down to the stem, just one. So I'm wondering what little pest I have out there.
Well, it sounds like a caterpillar of some sort. It could be the tomato hornworm or something like that. Because they don't move very, very far, they'll hang out on one plant. So I would be searching. They're going to be hard to see because they just look like the stem of the tomato plant. But if you look real closely, you'll probably find a tomato hornworm or some other caterpillar.
What would I use on that to get rid of it?
The spinosad, the Fertilome's boar, bagworm, leaf miner, tent caterpillar spray.
Okay.
So,
Thank you very much.
You gotta love that name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lori. All right, 776-5368 is the phone number, or toll free 1-800-373-5368. And your name's going in the hat for a $10 gift certificate out there at the Four Seasons Nursery. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Well, Tim Elbert's with us today, and we are, well, I don't know where I'm looking.
Yeah.
We have this little art thing that you have here. It's really cute. Tim Elbert's with us from Four Seasons Nursery, and he's here answering your questions. Your name's going to go in the hat for a $10 gift certificate out there at the Four Seasons Nursery. For those watching on theDove TV, by the way, you can watch theDove TV all the time now because the Dove app is available. Yep. iPhone, iPad, and Android available. So just go to those app stores and type in theDove, one word, theDove, make sure it's one word, and you can download it free. You like that word?
Yes. Yeah.
And you can watch right now theDove TV Live. You can listen to the Dove Radio, plus all the other features there, plus even some previous shows that have been archived. Anyway, you brought in some garden art you picked up. It's just a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing late at night welding things.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrecked the old motorcycle, and we just kind of, you know.
There you go. It's really cute. This is a little donkey, but then you have roosters and flying pigs?
Flying pigs, yes. There's flying pigs.
Okay.
Yeah. Big suns, great big suns.
Okay, yeah. I can't wait to see it. All right. Marilyn, you've been very patient. Hi, what's going on? Are you there, Marilyn?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was just out in the garden, and I was noticing out of my 8 tomato plants that 2 of the plants, in between all the rest of them, all the bottom leaves are turning yellow, and all the rest of them look fine, but the 2 of them that are the same type are turning yellow and dropping their leaves. What is the problem?
Well, it would not surprise me if you had some form of a leaf spot fungus on those tomatoes. This weather has been really conducive to that, and we've seen a lot of that coming into the store recently. So I would, bring us some samples in a plastic baggie, please, in a plastic baggie, and let us take a look to make sure that that's what that is. But generally speaking, for most tomato diseases, other than things like Fusarium or Verticillium, which are incurable, but the leaf spot fungus is curable with a spray application of copper. So,
okay.
And you can do that early in the morning when it's cool, and that should help out.
Yeah, they're yellow, but then they started to turn black around the edges, and I just went out and ripped all the bottom leaves off that were turning that color.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Once you cleaned it off, if it continues to get worse, then I would say you might have some kind of a fungus going on.
Okay.
So samples and pictures really help us out to determine exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 776-5368 is the number, or toll free for those listening up and down the southern Oregon coastline. Love to hear from you in the Brookings area, Coos Bay, Port Orford, and around. And that's toll free, 1-800-373, or maybe you're listening in Northern California over in the Klamath Basin. Again, that's toll free, 1-800-373-5368, or locally 776-5368. All right, Tim, the other thing that is important this time of year is things are heating up. We all have these beautiful hanging baskets, and of course you're known for those beautiful baskets. And we have a tendency to water them, which we should.
Yep.
But water's not enough.
Right, correct. They have to be fed too, and we've got to watch for those budworms, the petunia budworms. So, weekly we recommend that you're getting them fertilized. We use a product by Fertilome called, again, with great names, Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Fertilizer.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's we just call it Triple 20 because it's a 20-20-20 with trace elements, and it's a liquid soluble. So you mix that with water, put that on your plants, and that feeds them and does really well for them. You can use it on your house plants, your anything in containers, really. It works very, very good for it.
Because think about it, folks, when you're watering, you always water when the water drains out the bottom, and there goes the nutrients.
Right, and you're always leaching nutrients out. In the soil situation, in the ground, you're actually, when you water, you're drawing air and down and nutrients down in, but the plant can bring it back up. It can take it back up because there's no drainage hole down there for it to go away. So you can bring it back up. So you don't lose that nutrient as quickly in the ground as you do in containers. So containers, very often, we suggest weekly.
So triple 20.
Yes.
Triple 20. All right. And again, the phone number is 776-5368. And Tim's here with us today. And $10 gift certificate. Somebody's going to win here coming up in a little bit. And that's towards anything you want in the store, which is a beautiful store out there. The other thing that's coming to mind is the aphids around roses. Those of us who spray on a regular basis or who don't, what do you recommend?
Well, interesting that you brought that up, because just yesterday we found aphids on the roses at the nursery.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we'll recommend a product called again, it's another Fertilome product. It's called Broad Spectrum Insecticide. And the active ingredient in that is called bifenthrin. And the bifenthrin has a longer lasting residual than the things like pyrethrin or neem oil. So you spray it on there and it lasts longer and kills insects for a longer period of time. So that's what I recommend for that. Now, if you wanted to go organic, the pyrethrin, the neem oil, that's the Fertilome's Triple Action Plus. That works very well, and you can put that on. But I've been very happy with the way that the bifenthrin's working.
All right, what flowers can we be planting in this heat that will take the heat and take direct sunlight and still give us lots of color?
Well, there's a lot of things out there right now. The blanket flowers are looking beautiful. They're coming in reds.
You brought one of those in the other day.
Yeah. Reds and golds and oranges. So those are very pretty. There's some lavender. In fact, we've got some of the Thumbelina lay in, which is a little dwarf one, and I love it. It just stays really nice, compact and dwarf. Has a perfect shape to it and blooms beautifully, fragrant. Really, really nice one. So those are blooming really well right now. The Shasta daisies are blooming and looking good. The big white daisy flowers with the yellow center. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff.
All right, plant it and get it in the ground. All right. All right. And is it too early, too late, too hot to fertilize lawn?
No, you bring that up. I haven't fed my lawn, so I'm getting ready to. This is my tomorrow morning's chore before work, is to go out and feed the grass. And using a slow release like the Fertilome Classic really helps because you don't burn the lawn. You don't want to put something like ammonium sulfate down, because you could really burn with this heat. But this is a little slower release, and it will last nicely.
Is that the one that has the weed out in it too?
There's the weed out that has that you can put down, but the Classic is not. Classic is just a straight fertilizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know, 776-5368. Tim Elbert's in the house from Four Seasons Nursery. They're open forever and every day.
Well, 9 to 5 every day.
Yeah, there you go. In the vegetable garden, what's going on?
Yes. Well, I didn't do a veggie garden this year. So I don't know. You guys tell me what's going on in your veggie garden. But I'll tell you what's going on at the nursery. And this is something, if you don't want to come in, for anything else, you got to come in and check out the blueberries.
Really?
Because they are loaded with ripe fruit. And I go by every time I walk by, I pick a handful and eat them. So come out and
pick some berries,
pick some blueberries, and
Now, how do you can plant those now, obviously?
Yes.
And what kind of a setting do you want for those? Do you trellis those or what?
No, they're a shrub, so they stand up on their own.
Okay.
So they don't need extra support. They like a little afternoon shade. Once it gets up into the upper 90s, they tend to burn. So, up until now, I've had them out in the full sun, but we just moved them into a shadier spot because we're starting to look at this hot weather coming in. So if you've got a spot that has a little bit of afternoon shade that'll keep them shaded during the hottest part of the day, that's the best place for them. And they need acid soil. And so really work in some aluminum sulfate or magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, to help acidify that soil.
Wow. So. All right. One other question before we take a quick break, and again, our phone number is 776-5368. If you want to ask Tim a question, you don't have to stand in line to do it. Here he is. He's right here to take your question, and your name will go in the hat for a $10 gift certificate out there at the store. I have sprayed, I don't know how many times, for poison oak. It keeps coming up. What do I do? It just keeps coming back.
Well, you have to really stay on top of it because it has such a large network of root system that trying to get it under control can be very, very difficult. So as soon as you see it come up, you've got to get that spray on there. Be sure that you use a spreader sticker in with your spray so that it sticks to the foliage. That new growth especially is pretty glossy and that water doesn't stick to it very well. So using the spreader sticker, it'll stick to it and soak into that foliage and kill it off. You know, takes it down into the root system.
Is that a liquid you add to the sprayer?
Yes. Yeah.
Just gooey, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of a milky substance. You put it in there, and it acts as a surfactant, but it also acts as a sticking agent. So it breaks down that waxy surface and allows it to soak in. But then also, once it's dry, it won't wash off. So I had somebody one time accidentally spray it on a plant, and I said, "Is it dry?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Say goodbye."
Bye-bye. All right. Let us know if you got any questions coming up on the last segment. You could win a $10 gift certificate out there at the store at Four Seasons. You can use it on anything you want to out there, and there's a lot to choose from. The phone number again, local 776-5368, and then toll free. For those outside the immediate Medford area, I'd love to hear from you. Toll free 1-800-373-5368. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
All right, Tim Elbert, Four Seasons Nursery with us today, and going into what looks like now to be the first really hot weekend throughout the entire area. And if you're over in the coast, if you're listening on the Brookings stations or up around Port Orford, Bandon, Coos Bay areas, you're just in for some gorgeous weather.
Yeah, look for us. We'll be there.
Yeah, we're coming over. We're coming over. We're going to figure out how to do the morning show over there at all three places. But anyway, pretty nice on the coast. But inland, it's going to be pretty hot. And Northern Cal's going to see triple digits. Klamath Basin's going to be well into the 90s. We're going to be well into the 90s here in the Rogue Valley. So if you got any questions about what you should be doing in the yard, great opportunity to talk to Tim. The phone number is 776-5368 or toll free 1-800-373-5368. And let me take this opportunity again to mention that today we are so excited here at the Dove because after several months of really hard work, and our crew in the control room and Michael Brown and Josiah Douglas and others have really worked hard to put together a first-class app, and it's free. Absolutely free. And whether you are iPhone, iTunes, or whatever, you can do it. Or if you're an Android, you can go to the App Store and download it free. Just put in theDove. That's one word. theDove as one word. And you can download the app, and you can watch Tim right now live on the Dove TV.
Hey, you know, the only thing better than the Timinator is more of the Timinator.
Well, okay, and actually the show will be archived, and you can bring it up and watch it again and again and again, along with Tim. Anyway, plus the Dove Radio, and you can get a free, tap on the tab there to get a free devotional. If you want to send us a prayer request, we'll take that. all kinds of things. So anyway, we're pretty excited about it. Today is the first day, and if you'll download it, they're going to ask you to rate it as high as you feel that it should be. The higher the better, obviously, but it's free, and everything we do here at the Dove is now on the app, available on the iTunes for you iFolks, and on the Google Play for you Android folks, and there it is, free. All right, let's go back to the phones real quick. Hi, Polly, what's up?
Oh, hi. I have a question referring to the blueberry bush Tim was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a place to plant it, so I'd want to leave it in a container, and I'm wondering if that's possible. And do you need to fertilize it besides keeping it out of the afternoon sun or having a shady spot? And do you need to bring it in the winter like the lemon tree?
Well, okay, yes, they do great in containers. They have a very small root system, so they do just fine in pots and produce well. Yes, you do need to fertilize it, and you would use a liquid soluble fertilizer for that. And there is an acid loving formula for that, just specifically. So you can use that when you're fertilizing. And no, you do not need to bring it in the wintertime. And in fact, there are several varieties that are actually quite nice in the wintertime. One called Bountiful Blue that keeps its foliage all winter. And I think there's still a few of those out there. And they're gorgeous. In the wintertime, their foliage turns this kind of a dusty blue-green color. And it is absolutely stunning. I think they're a beautiful plant in the wintertime.
Wow. That's very,
yeah.
Do you carry that particular type? Or?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Polly.
Okay, thank you.
You too. All right. Hi, Jack. Boy, you don't want to say that loud in an airport, do you?
No, you don't.
What's going on with your maple tree?
Is it okay to prune maple trees now? I heard that you don't want to do it in the fall because they'll bleed to death.
Yeah, typically you don't want to do it when they are in their main growth spurt in the spring, because that's when that sap is pushing up. Pruning in the fall, the sap should be coming down, but if you get too late, then yeah, that can be a problem. But summer pruning on maples is perfectly fine, and you could be doing just about any kind of pruning now that you want to.
Okay, so should I seal where I prune?
No, I wouldn't. You can if it makes you feel better, but using a pruning sealer on a cut really has almost no effect on the overall health of the wound. So, studies have shown that it doesn't prevent fungal development or anything like that. So, there's really nothing. There's no real need to seal the cuts.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Nadine. What's going on with you? Oh, you want to know how to keep the birds away from the blueberries?
Yeah. I tried draping them with the netting, and they just kind of ate right through the netting. And so I wondered, do I need to build a cage around them or something? 'Cause they're getting them before I do.
Yeah, you need to get to them before them. That's the deal. But yeah, it was kind of funny because when we moved our blueberries from where they were at just the other day, we put them in another spot, and we were fighting off a robin because it was very angry. We were taking away its blueberries. But anyways, yes, the netting has to come clear down to the ground and has to be secured. Otherwise, they find a way underneath that netting and will get right inside there and have a feast.
Yeah, I think they were just landing right on the netting and just poking their beaks right through there. And
oh, yeah. So you've got to kind of maybe build a little framework or something to some hoops or something to cover them up with. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hey, a couple things. Of course, people like to have shade trees this time of the year.
Right.
You have a variety of them out there. What's the fast-growing shade tree?
Well, one of my favorites is the autumn blaze maple. It is very, very fast growing and gets to be quite large. So it makes a really nice shade tree. And it's a seedless variety. So, the little helicopters that, the maples get, they're called saguaras. And these don't have those. So they're seedless. So it's a lot cleaner of a tree. The fall color on it is red, kind of a pink to red, with the underside of the leaf kind of a white color.
Wow.
So it's very pretty when the wind blows and you get that little movement there. So it's a stunning tree. It was one of my favorites for that.
Now, the other thing is people who are putting in maybe whole new garden areas, and I learned this the hard way. I think we buy these plants and we poke them here and do there, and then they grow.
Or they don't.
You know, and all of a sudden you put them too close together and all that stuff. But you have a service, you have a landscaping design service, which to me,
yes,
it's just kind of like, you know, at least run your plans by your fella out there.
Yeah, yes, it's really a great service that we do. Anywhere from you know, bring in some measurements and maybe a little diagram, a couple of pictures, and sit down with Jim. He's our landscape designer, and you can sit down with him and he'll just draw up for you right there on the spot, and there's no charge for that. So you can, you know, you got a little spot to do in the yard. He can sit down with you and show you exactly what to put and where, and you can take that and get the plant material, take it home, and lay it out, and it turns out really good. Or he will actually come out to your house, and he does charge for that. That's separate from what we do at the nursery. But if you do have him come out, then when you're ready to buy your plants for your yard, perhaps you're doing a front yard, an entire front yard, or front yard, backyard, or something like that. You'll get a 10% discount off your plant material.
Is there does that include irrigation issues?
He will design irrigation. He'll design lighting. He'll design decks and pools and patios and everything. So yes, he does very, very good job.
All right. Well, I say that because I think so often with good intentions we go out there and then we don't realize what we're really getting involved in.
Well, you know,
I put a couple of lavender plants, or Peggy did, you know, in a couple of areas, and all of a sudden they just own everything, you know.
Well, you know, it's one interesting thing happened to me when we bought our house. Well, we've been in our house about 10 years now, but when it came time to landscape my backyard, or even my front yard, but when it came time, mostly it was my backyard, I didn't know what in the world to do. Now, I've been doing landscape design for 20 years, and I sat there and I looked at this area and I thought, oh my word, I know what my customers are going through.
Yeah.
There's so many choices, and then this area was so big and it was so hard. I had to sit down. Generally, I can just take stuff and throw it in there and make it look good. But I had to actually sit down and draw up a landscape plan for my own yard so that I knew what I was doing when I went through and planted it. Yeah. And it turned out good. It turned out pretty nice. But there's something to say for that extra bit of planning. And you know, whether you just bring us in pictures and stuff and we just do it for free, or whether you have Jim come out and take a look at it, it's regardless. You know, that extra planning makes it well worth it.
All right, we're going to draw a name out for a $10 gift certificate out there at the store, and they can use it for anything.
Anything, yes.
Plants.
Fertilizer. Yeah. Weed killer.
You.
Yeah, yeah. For you a ride on the bike.
Or against one of this new garden art you got going on here.
Yes.
Who's the winner?
The winner today is Kathy. She's the one who had the question about the red bud. So, yeah. Kathy, when you bring me a sample of that red bud, we'll get you your $10 gift card.
There you go. Now, and you, again, this is the new thing for those watching on the TV. This is their new garden art. If you're listening on the radio, it's really, really cute. But you got to write. This is a little donkey that's been welded up of leftover parts in the junkyard. But you've got all kinds of other figurines.
Yes, yep. Everything from flying pigs and goats to roosters and pink flamingos.
Yeah, really. I think your dad probably thought you lost your mind again, right?
I don't think he's seen them yet. But you know, you can drive by. We're actually going to take two of the biggest pieces and put them out on the front lawn out there. So you drive by the nursery sometime this afternoon, you'll see them out there.
All right, that's go out Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, and just go up about a half mile. You'll see the nursery off to the right there. Tim, thanks, and 9 to 5, right?
9 to 5 every day.
All right, have you given this guy a name?
No, not yet. But you know, I was thinking Joe Biden.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Have a great weekend and stay cool, folks.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.